Growth is not merely a biological event, it is the signature of civilization. At the heart of Ethiopia's ancient lexicon lies a single powerful root, BQL, BQL. It is the root of the sprout that feeds our bodies, brews our time-honored traditions, and lives on in the names of our brothers and fathers. Today, we uncover the hidden history of the sprout. We will cross vast oceans of time, from the Semitic highlands to the Mediterranean world, to explore how a single linguistic system absorbed and reshaped a foreign guest. Welcome to the living blueprint of language. In Ge'ez and Amharic, the root BQL captures the moment of emergence, the instant life breakthrough. Baqiela in Ge'ez and መብቀል in Amharic express the act of sprouting. Baqiela, he sprouted, became a name marking identity through growth and renewal. But BQL is not just about nature, it's also a form of technology. BQL or Malt became a kind of social glue, enabling fermentation, shaping communal life, and deepening agricultural traditions. Without BQL, our time-honored drinks, Tella and araki, would not exist. The root BQL, BQL, is not localized to the north. It serves as a linguistic and agricultural bedrock for the entire Ethio-Semitic agrarian society, stretching from the central massifs down to the southern river valleys. When we journey into the languages of the southern Ethio-Semitic cluster, we discover that BQL remains deeply embedded in the soil of their everyday lexicons. The root BQL inseparably links language, agriculture, and culture in a single idea of emergence. For our ancestors, agriculture was not just labor, it was philosophy. The root BQL, BQL, expresses the transformation of a dormant seed into a living force. In the agrarian world of ancient Ethiopia, this was more than survival, it was identity, the sacred moment life passed through the earth. In the highlands, the first green shoot after the rain was a powerful sign of renewal, and perhaps this idea extended beyond the field. It's tempting to see a parallel, the vertical force of a sprout rising from the soil, mirrored in our ancient towering monoliths. In this light, monuments, cities, and empires do not merely stand, they rise, almost as if they too had sprouted from the earth itself, bridging nature and civilization. Consider the Fava bean, Baqiela. Though fully naturalized in Ethiopia, the word carries a faint echo of foreign origin. Some have suggested a possible connection to the Latin baculus, meaning the staff or rod, though this remains speculative. What is certain is this: the Fava bean itself was not native to the Ethiopian highlands. It was domesticated in the Mediterranean and traveled along ancient trade routes into the region. Its physical form is striking, pods growing upright along a firm central stalk, resembling small rods or sticks. When this foreign word entered the Ethio-Semitic world, it may have been reshaped, not randomly, but purposefully, to align with the native root BQL, the language of sprouting and growth. In doing so, a foreign stick was reinterpreted as a living sprout. Baqiela became linguistically a native son of the Ethiopian garden. However, the Roman connection remains a brilliant historical speculation. Language lines are rarely a straight path, and the plot thickens when we look northeast. This very same word exists right across the Red Sea, deeply embedded in the soil of the Arabic language. In classical Arabic, the verb Baqiela means to emerge, sprout, or produce vegetation, and Baql represents the very green herbs and shoots that burst from the desert earth after rain. This brings us to a captivating linguistic mystery. Is Baqiela truly of native Semitic origin, an ancient sibling word shared between the highlands of Ethiopia and the sands of Arabia? Or did both Ge'ez and Arabic independently encounter the Latin trade word baculus and perform the exact same act of alchemy, taming a foreign guest in their own unique ways to make it look, sound, and feel completely Semitic? Languages do not all adapt in the same way. Amharic, the innovative southern branch, absorbed Baqiela and integrated it into the BQL family of growth. But Tigrigna, the more conservative northern branch, preserves a different story. Instead of adopting the loan word, Tigrigna uses the classic word alqai for bean, from the ancient Semitic root alq, meaning to cling or to attach. Remarkably, this is the same root behind alakt in Amharic and Ge'ez, meaning leech in English. Here, the bean is named not for its form, but for its behavior, a plant whose pods cling tightly like a leech to skin. Where Amharic reshaped the foreign, Tigrigna preserved the original semantic lens. In modern conversational Tigrigna, however, we come across adopted external trade words for bean like fagioli from Italian and ilo from Arabic. Across the Cushitic language, we find a different linguistic landscape. Native roots for growth and sprouting include Gudina, growth or largeness in Oromo. Margu, turn green in Oromo and Somali. This belong to an entirely different system. Yet, traces of BQL appear here as well. In Agao and Northern Oromo, forms like Baqiela and Baqiela mean to sprout or to grow, but these are not universally attested, particularly in Southern Borana usage, where older terms like Hunde remain dominant. This suggests something remarkable. Baqiela is not originally Cushitic. It is a historical borrowing from Semitic, a linguistic footprint of contact, a moment where cultures met, exchanged, and reshaped one another. The root BQL is more than a linguistic unit. It is a philosophy of life, a moment of emergence, transformation, and renewal. It feeds the body, fuels tradition, and shapes identity. It may even have absorbed a foreign form and transformed it into something alive, Baqiela. From a Mediterranean object to an Aksumite sprout, words carry the DNA of human history. They show us that whether we see the world through a rising sprout or a clinging vine, the forces that shape our lives are deeply and beautifully rooted. So, the next time you see a bean or a young green shoot breaking through the soil, remember you are looking at an ancient crossroads of civilization. Thank you for journeying through the roots of our language. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.